What's up, witches? It's me, Luna, with another unboxing leading up to Samhain and some special decks for this week. And today it is Pagan Ways Tarot by Anna Franklin. And this is cool because I have another Anna Franklin deck, and it is the Sacred Circle Tarot. This was one of the first kind of prominent Photoshop decks that I got anyway. The first one was copyright 1998. I will link the video for the unboxing of this deck at the end. And this deck is relatively new. So Pagan Ways Tarot by Anna Franklin. It's in this nice box, magnet closed box. 2015 is the copyright here. Become initiated into the realities of your own psyche and become your guide to spiritual enlightenment. There are unseen other worlds overlapping our own, populated by gods and goddesses, nature spirits, and elementals. For the pagan, everything has a soul or spiritual essence. This deck is based on the pagan worldview, its symbols and teachings, and offers 78 beautiful cards featuring gods and goddesses. An accompanying guide tells the story of the Fool as he journeys through the minor and major arcanas, encountering the forces that shape him and each one of us. The myths of the gods create links between cards, between the majors and minors, and between the inner and outer paths we walk. Okay, so you can see very, absolutely Photoshoppy, but they went to some trouble shooting. That's a lot of work. You think, it's so much easier to just photograph things rather than create the artwork. But in a lot of ways, it can be harder because with the artwork, you're going to get exactly what you want. With a photograph, you have to try different things in lighting, and it's fraught with all its own stuff. I love the box. I love the darkness of it. Okay, let's pop the ribbon. And we have these nice little ribbon stays here. Then we have an About the Creator page right on the inside of the box. I'm a fan. Anna Franklin is a well-known pagan priestess and the author of 28 books on witchcraft and paganism, including the popular Sacred Circle Tarot and the Fairy Ring Oracle. Ooh, okay. I think I might have to have that. Her books have been translated into 9 languages. She regularly speaks at conferences, moots, and workshops. Anna lives in an English village with her partner, John, and their 3 cats. Okay, so here's the book. Full-size color illustrated book. We get full-size images of the cards, actually larger images of the cards inside the book. That's pretty crazy. And I want to look and see if there's any kind of artist attribution because in the Sacred Circle Tarot, there was an artist attribution. This just says 2015 Anne Franklin. Typeset. Yep, no other credit. So it's all her. You go, Anna. All right. Book aside, let's look at the cards. Now, they're in 2 little chunks, so it's kind of hard to get them out. There's not a ribbon to lift. You have to just turn and dump, but you've got them in 2 sections, and they're going to dump. And then we also have this not optimal situation of bits, where this box... Okay, so we've got Princess of Cups here, the Fool on that side, but we've got this box with pieces that come apart. What are you doing with this? If we're going to do this and separate cards in this way, then can we make it so everything is fixed and you can just reach in and get the cards? It's hard to reach in and get the cards without taking the box apart. Not a fan of that. Okay. You will also notice as we start looking through this deck, we have the Fool and big chunky deck. Big chunky deck. Chunkier than the Sacred Circle, which is a chunky deck. The cards are exactly the same size, but this way, yeah, a lot thicker stock. You know my opinions on that. All right. The Fool. So I love this image. We've got this little child So we definitely innocence, and look at the joy and enthusiasm chasing this butterfly right off a fucking cliff. That's an excellent image of the Fool. Just being so enthused. Being so enthused about something that you go off without thinking about any consequences of your actions. All right, the Fool. And then we go into Ace of Swords. This is the way the book is constructed too. So the Fool kicks it off, and then we're into the minor arcana. The Ace of Swords, look at the beautiful colors. It's a gorgeous image. And, you know, I mean, there's a lot of work in this. So this isn't just photography. There is artwork here too. That's a lot of work. All right, intent. We have keywords. Yay! Sacred Circle has keywords too. I love them. 2 of Swords is stalemate. Great keyword. 3 is sorrow. 4 is truce. Another thing that's really awesome in this deck is that, and this was 2015, I said, and the other one was 2008. Let me look at that again. Sorry. So fussy I am. 1998. Okay. 2008, 2000. So 17 years between these decks, and there are a lot of the same people in them. This must be like her Coveners, but there are a lot of the same faces in these decks, and you can see how they've matured. I really love that. Defeat is the 5. The 6 is transition. Her keywords are excellent. I find that with the Sacred Circle deck as well. 7 of Swords is deception. The 8 is constraint. 9 is worry. 10 is ruin. The Princess is Imbolc. The Knight of Swords is knowledge. So air, it's obviously air. Imbolc is an air sign festival. The Knight is knowledge. Look at him going. The Queen is Ostara, and the King is air. Okay. Ostara. Spring. Interesting. All right. There's obviously information to be had there. The Ace of Wands is will. 2 is dominion. 3 is foundation. Harmony. Strife. Victory. You can really track it through, you know. Challenge. Okay, this is the card I wanted to show you because it kind of delighted me. So you see this woman on the challenge card. Here is the warrior card from the Sacred Circle. Clearly the same woman. She's frickin' awesome. I absolutely adore the way this has been done. And the continuity, you know, between decks of the faces that you see. It's just pretty thrilling to me. Action is the 8 of Wands. Look at those fiery arrows flying. It's great. The 9 is resilience. That's a new meaning rather than boundaries. 10 of Wands is oppression. The Princess is Beltane. The Knight is adventure. The Queen is midsummer. And the King is fire. So each of the suits has a quarter and a cross quarter. Interesting that like swords wouldn't be Mabon, the cross quarter that kicks off the air sign of Libra when the swords are air. So that's kind of why I'm going, something doesn't quite sit right. I can see with having a quarter, the one of that element being the Princess, but then when you get to the Queen, one would think it would be the cross quarter of that element, but it's not. So, and King of Wands is fire, and the Kings are just the pure element. Then we have Ace of Cups, love. The 2 is union, that beautiful green gown that keeps showing up. Let me zoom in on this a little bit here. You can see they're very shiny. You can see they're certainly photoshopped, but not, it's not like high res. Union. Grace is the 3s. She certainly shows up in Sacred Circle, looking very similar to that. 4 of Cups is discontent. The 5 is loss. 6 is nostalgia. 7, illusion. I mean, her keywords just really are to the point and very good. The 8 of Cups is pathfinder. The 9 is abundance. 10, reward. The princess is Lunasa. So, I mean, Lunasa is in the middle of fire sign Leo. This should be Samhain for water. I'm confused. I'm going to be looking for information there. Knight of Cups is compassion. He's a knight that doesn't go anywhere. Queen of Cups is Herfest. Harvest. So that's got to be Mabon. And then King of Cups is water. Look at the watery. Oh, the images are gorgeous. He in a bubble. Then we have Pentacles. Manifestation. The 2 is balance. 3, work. 4, control. Ooh. 5, restriction. Yep, limitation, absolutely. 6 is bounty. 7, cultivation. 8, skill. It's kind of reverse there, that, you know, you tend to think of 3 of Pentacles as mastery and 8 as being sort of apprenticeship, but we've got work and skill. So there's a little differentiation there that I appreciate. 9 of Pentacles is gain. The 10 is tradition. Princess is Samhain. So again, you know, we're not looking at things astrologically, and that's where I've got to get out of my astrological head. I'm looking for integrity between a couple systems where, you know, it's not been built in. So I just have to let that go, because that doesn't mean this doesn't work. Princess of Pentacles, 9 of Pentacles is practicality. So Samhain, practicality, Yule, and King. And, you know, she's just stepping through the year. So we started off with Imbolg, and then we went to Ostara. So it is this organic progression through the year. And then, and King of Earth, then we're into the majors. Here's the Magician and the High Priestess. She's beautiful. The Lady with the earth in her lap. Gorgeous. The Lord. The Lord of the, look at that. Ooh, that's just glorious. Elder is the Hierophant. So again, we're in pagan context here. The Lovers, look at that. See, that's what a lover's card should look like. Yeah, baby. The Chariot. Pop in. Pop in. There we go. You can see my camera blue. Strength is the number 8 card. It's kind of like she's sending out her totems here. The Hermit. Ooh, he's gorgeous. Weird. So, the Wheel of Fortune is weird. Justice. The Hanged Man. Death, look at her. Apple Woman. The only thing missing is an apple in her hand. Oh, that's gorgeous. Temperance. Underworld. This is a very different image of Temperance here. We've got a Pegasus horse. She's a flying across the sky. So gods and goddesses, is that Skuld? And we have to look for the majors at the back of the book. I just want to look real quick. For reverse meaning. Does it mention the goddess? Higher self? Okay, so we don't give, it talked about meeting gods and goddesses, but we don't talk about, particular goddesses from particular cultures. And I do appreciate that. Makes it much more adaptable. The underworld is devil. The tower. The star. Look how beautiful that is. Oh, the light. These cards have so much light in them. The moon. Ooh. The sun. And rebirth. And the universe. And then we're back to the Fool. So this deck, which I forgot to mention in the beginning, and I apologize, was the first gift deck I received this year. And I did it it was before I posted my wish list. I posted in a gifting page on Facebook. And somebody had asked for, people that were making masks to post their lists. So I posted mine. And my dear friend who is a nurse, my friend Denise, who I made over 600 masks, and most of them went to her. She kept feeding me fabric. I would make her masks. She would take them to her nurses. All of the frontline workers got them for free, and it was like $4 each if they wanted some for their families. And I'm telling you, these nurses felt bad about taking them for free. I told her, right off the bat, these are free. Just go. I was using donated fabric. Go. These are free. And money started coming in because these nurses refused to accept them for free. Unreal. Here's the back of the cards that I hadn't shown you. So I posted that, and suddenly I got this deck. And, from my dear friend Denise, and it's just a beautiful deck. So thank you, my dear. It took me so long to review it because of where it fell in the alphabet. So let's take a look at the book. I mean, look, just the facing page. Full color, same as the cover. Impressive. Okay, in memory of Paul Mason, my best friend, my inspiration, and my compass. Paul Mason was the one that was attributed as the artist on the first one. Oh, so you wonder if they were partners. Special thanks to Paul Mason, who created the tarot card back illustration. All right. Introduction, Pagan Ways Tarot, the Journey of the Fool, the Major Arcana, or the Minor Arcana, and then the Major Arcana, and the Journey of Initiation. So the cards, the Fool has its own thing here. So there's a little history of the tarot. Pagan ways, and creating a new deck that changes some of the names, symbols, and imagery of the older decks, and following a long and honorable tradition. Absolutely. Okay. And talking about paganism, basically, the journey of the Fool, the Minor Arcana, the journey of life. Swords are intent, wands are will, cups are love, and pentacles are manifestation. So tell me how intent and will are different. First problem I have. Tell me how intent and will are different. What is an intent? But I will. I will do this. I intend to do this. I would change one of that to either inspiration and will. So inspiration of, what's going on in your mind, the ideas you have, and then will to put them into action. Or I would do it as inspiration, intent, will, and maybe creativity. I would separate those two because will and intent are the same thing to me. So that is a little stopper. Cups are love, pentacles manifestation, the major arcana, the journey of initiation. The cards. Look at this black page. The Fool. The journey. So we get the journey. It represents each one of us as we travel through the experiences and mysteries of life. The fool here is not an idiot, but pure undeveloped potential and enthusiasm. Chasing the butterfly. He is the essence of us all. Then you have upright meanings and reversed meanings. Then we go into the minors. Same thing. You get a full color picture. The journey, upright and reversed. On and on and on. We get to the majors at the back. And then we have a section here, which symbolism of the cards. Since there was not room in this book for a full explanation of the symbolism of the cards, this section offers a dictionary of symbolism in brief. Altar is the presence of the gods, communion with the gods. The apple is immortality, the other world, the passage of the sun, fertility, and harvest. Arch, armor, arrow, autumn, badger, basket, bear. So she goes through all of the symbols in the cards and gives us a lexicon of what they all represent. And that's a wonderful thing. End note. The lore of hares and rabbits are very different, as are their habits. Rabbits are sociable animals living in large groups, whereas a hare is solitary. Why did we not put that in with the section on the hares and rabbits? Rabbit, hare. Okay, so there is a thing for hare. Renewal, lust, sexuality, fecundity, reproduction, blah, 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 blah. But there's not one for rabbit, because what's on the cards is a hare, not a rabbit. Using the cards for divination, the zodiac spread. Okay, I'm reacting. Can you tell? Because we've got the zodiac spread here. We have Aries starting over here on the right as 1, 2, 3, 4. That's fucking backwards. Have you never seen an astrological chart? Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer. Why would you do a disservice when you're putting this out and show people the wrong way? Show people the way a chart does not exist. You know, that drives me insane. And one assumes knowledge, you know, for practicing pagans. So that drives me nuts. Then we have the planetary spread. Moon, Mercury, Venus, Sun, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn. That looks like a cool spread. The Romany spread. Past, present, future. And we have categories of emotional aspects, relationships, career, finance, spiritual matters, obstacles, and health. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's actually smaller than my Wheel of Fortune spread, because I'm thinking that's a lot of cards, but it's actually smaller. Then we have the Celtic Cross. Using the cards for meditation and spiritual development, meditating with an individual card. The elements. Okay, the 4 kings. You lay out the 4 kings for the elements. Elemental wheel exercise, the wheel of the year. Interesting that this is all at the end. You know, this is a pagan-centered deck. You would think they would put this kind of basic pagan stuff at the beginning, but they didn't. All right. Anyway. Time to jump in here. Let's invite allies and ancestors, guides and guardians to come and be present here with us. I offer you fresh water. I offer you the fire of Azrael in this Samhain week. Part the veil with fire of Azrael. Part the veil and bring us your wisdom. Bring us connection. My charcoal that I just lit is almost unlit. There we go. I offer this to you, Pagan Ways Tarot. And I ask specifically that you let me shuffle this damn deck, because it is really big and thick. All right. Blocky. It's blocky. So you can almost, you know, just barely get your fingers. It is bendy, but it's so thick that when you're... You know how pissed off and frustrated I get when you're trying to use something for what it's meant to be used for, and it's so damn difficult. And by the way, did I even say who this is published by? This is Schiffer. Schiffer Publishing. And I want to look at Sacred Circle. This is published by Llewellyn. So Llewellyn did the first one. Schiffer did the second one. I like Llewellyn's cardstock better. And, one wonders why she didn't go back to Llewellyn for the second one. Any number of reasons Llewellyn could have said no. She could have been dissatisfied with the first experience that she had. She could have gotten just a much better offer from Schiffer. These also are shiny. They've got that plastic coating, so they stick to each other. So again, we've got the combination of an unworkably large deck and a plastic coating that makes cards not slip against each other. Thank God they bend slightly, or I'd be flipping my shit right now. Okay, so I've got to shuffle them this way. Did you see that levitate? It levitated off the top. 2 of them levitated off the top. And there goes number 3. So the sticking to each other part, I guess, sort of helps them levitate. And we've got them all turned, so I'm going to turn them this way. 7s and 2 6s. So I thought I would get 2 side by side because you can't shuffle adequately. This pisses me off. You have to really try to pull cards away from sticking to each other. All right, let's just take it as it goes. Deception, transition, bounty. So for this Samhain season, what do we need to look at as we move into the dark? 7 of Swords is deception. The journey. The fool surprises a sneak thief running away from a military camp with a bundle of stolen swords. Caught red-handed, laughs the culprit. You don't seem bothered by it. Why should I? It is my nature to do such things. I am Loki the trickster, the sly one, originator of deceits, skilled in cunning with japes for every purpose. I cut off Sif's hair to take her down a peg or two and stole Idun's apples of youth. Does no one stop you? Oh, sometimes the other gods catch me and threaten me and make me put things back, or put things right. But I'm up to my tricks again as soon as their backs are turned. More fool them. I'm cleverer than the lot of them put together. I follow my own course and delight in my guile, even though lesser beings try to tell me once on this path it will escalate and my soul will become more warped day by day. Now I'm off to play a trick on Balder, and it will be my best yet, says Loki and scampers away. So we're definitely dealing with Norse gods here. We do have specific gods being mentioned. Upright meaning, but it's a little, I don't know. Okay, whatever. There's the journey. Upright meaning. This is the card of the trickster or the sneak thief and denotes deception, betrayal, and hidden dishonor. Ooh, it's getting rainy. Have you been trying to get away with something unethical? Perhaps you're kidding yourself that you are the lone wolf who follows his own course, but sooner or later you're going to need other people. If you really are innocent of the above, you could be the victim of someone else's duplicity. Beware of swindlers, thieves, and con men. Be careful whom you trust, as competitors and even colleagues may have their own agendas. This will be shown by surrounding cards. You will have to be quick and clever to come out on top. Right away, what this is talking to me about is the experience we've been through in the pandemic and through the Trump administration of finding out that we're regarding people so much differently because we're finding out what's underneath the surface. That even though, how many times I've heard they're the nicest people in the world, they're just so nice, and they're Trump supporters. And so there's a deception going on there. Either they have such trauma that, that's what their political support is based on, is trauma, and really, they're genuinely nice people, or, they behave the way they do because they want people to like them, but really, they're mean and hateful when it comes down to people that aren't like them. So that's what I'm looking at, is the deception of finding out this person that I thought I had a nice relationship with is actually a toxic person, a toxic, traumatized person, and getting sort of that veil torn away. So, beware of con men and know people. Just be more aware of who people are and getting to know them better. I think that's a lesson that has certainly come to us over this last 7 months. Now, let's look at the Six of Swords. Transition. Fleeing from the battlefield, the fool meets a melancholy woman alone in a boat that sails across calm waters, suggesting that she is sailing away from difficulties. There are 5 heavy swords depicted on the boat's sail, and she holds one sword in her hand, trailing through the water, which symbolizes the power of the rational mind over the emotions. Nice symbolism there. In the sky, a skein of migrating geese fly across the clouds. Never heard it called a skein. Are you escaping too? He asks her. I did once. I am Leucothea, and my name means white goddess. I was once a mortal princess, but when my husband went mad and tried to harm me, I jumped into the sea with my son in my arms. It was a leap of faith, but it turned out to be the best thing for me. The gods took pity and transformed us both into sea deities. Now I come to the aid of sailors in distress and rescue those in danger of drowning. Can you help me? I feel as though I'm drowning in my problems. Look around, the mist obscures the future, but the pole star guides my way, and I trust the gods to help me. In dreams and meditation, the inner navigator, the soul, tells you the right course, even when the conscious mind does not recognize it. So transition from danger to power, I guess. Though this is not a joyful card, the Six of Swords indicates moving away from troubles either physically or mentally. You've been through a distressing time and may have been feeling unable to do anything about it, really. But now you can see your way more clearly. There is regret. As you move forward, you need to leave something behind. This can be a card of literal travel, journeying to a place where you can forget your troubles. It could indicate a holiday or a move to a new location, though you will have to leave behind family and friends. So here, what I was talking about first, how many friends have we left behind? Friends and family. I have run out of cousins, almost, because of what we've been through, because of our culture and people showing their true colors. So we have come to grips with learning who people really are, and now it talks about transitioning away from tolerance of certain behaviors, transition away from those people, the loss of those people in our lives, the rejection of those people from our lives. So this can be expanded to just rejection of any toxic situation in your life, toxic relationships, neurotic patterns that cause you to keep choosing toxic things. So these cards really are talking about us moving away from that and recognizing people for who they really are, and then making the decision, do they stay in my life or not, specifically the circumstances where we decide they don't. Then bounty is at the end here. The fool meets a woman dressed in a gold robe, showing her wealth and status, throwing coins to a beggar at her feet. I am the goddess Empanada, she says, and my name means she with hands outstretched. I am the goddess of asylum, charity, and hospitality, and my temple in Rome always had its doors open to distribute alms to people in need. It is a sacred duty to feed and clothe the poor. Feed and cloth the poor, she has. You must give freely and trust that the universe is abundant and you will never go without. To give of your possessions is a good thing, but when you give of yourself without judgment and ask nothing in return, this is true bounty, which honors the flow of life. Upright meaning. The key word for the Six of Pentacles is bounty, though as depicted in the card, the relationship between the giver and recipient is not an equal one. It can suggest that you have an unexpected windfall as someone steps in to help when you are in financial difficulties or need a sponsor. However, the gift will not come without strings attached, and your benefactor will want something in return. See, that's not what I get from the Six of Pentacles. I don't get the strings attached. I get money that's not worked for, or something that's freely given, a gift that's freely given. On the other hand, you might be the wealthier giver, helping others. This could be with money, or it could be with your time, expertise, or knowledge. Don't ask anything in return, but do it unselfishly and without conditions. See, I would think the reverse might talk more about strings attached, that this is not bounty freely given. Let's see what the reverse does, just for grins. Six of Pentacles reverse demonstrates the negative effect of an unequal relationship. You might be working for an unappreciative boss, have a loan turned down, or be asked to pay exorbitant rates of interest. Be conned into a worthless investment or feel that you've not been treated fairly with regards to an inheritance or divorce settlement. In a relationship, one partner may be domineering and controlling. Then again, if you've been sponging off friends and relatives without making any real efforts of your own, they're going to get fed up and stop supporting you. There, yeah, a lot of valid, a lot of valid stuff there. So let's see. At the end, I guess when we've cut the toxic people out of our lives, then we really can freely give to the ones that are left and the ones that are willing to receive what we have to give. I mean, that's what I'm getting from it. There's also the chance that there could be another little bit of money. It's just the rankest, most humiliating and pathetic fact that the most wealthy country in the world has managed to give its citizens $1,200 measly dollars for the last 7 fucking months. And that they can't get their shit together to give us more. It's just pathetic. It's absolutely pathetic. We are so fortunate to have been able to make it through when so many have not been. So that's what I'm looking at here. Interesting deck. It does have a couple little problems with it that, I could get around because the keywords are excellent. The hard part is the shuffling. It's just so awkward and uncomfortable. And when you're trying to get yourself centered and into a place of receiving information and being kind of, between the worlds, this brings you right back down. Having to deal with the chunky deck and the frustration that brings up just knocks that out of me. And you can see, as I've done it, because when I shuffle like that, if the deck is easy, I can almost make it go one after another, and you really get a good mix. This one doesn't work like that at all. All right. I hope you enjoyed that. As ever, I enjoy being with you. I enjoy making this content for you. I enjoy it when you send me a gift deck and I can do a reading for you. I enjoy watching people sign up for my Discord. I'm going to be scheduling some live chats there that I hope you will join me on. I love it when you join my Patreon. That would be an awesome thing to do. More stuff to come. An unboxing every day, a live stream on Wednesday night for readings. I cannot wait for Samhain readings this Wednesday. So take care of yourselves today. Keep yourselves safe. Wear your masks. Do your spiritual practice. Add as much uplifting energy into the world as you can possibly manage these days, because we desperately need it. Get to work, my witches. I'll see you tomorrow for another unboxing. Until then, this is Luna. Blessed Samhain and blessed be.